Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, April 17, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Tonight's Dynamite was a go-home show to Dynasty. Now, let's kick things off talking about Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. So, they will be main eventing Dynasty. It will be Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World title. On tonight's Dynamite, Samoa Joe was interviewed, and he was asked how he viewed Swerve Strickland. And he called Swerve Strickland a choke artist, a punching bag. He said that he keeps knocking him down and he keeps standing up. And that at Dynasty, he's gonna choke out Swerve Strickland, basically is what he said. And like he talked about what last week with Swerve Strickland raising the title. He talked about how his title needed to be disinfected to make sure it was TV ready for this week and stuff like that. So I thought this was, a good interview with Samoa Joe. And of course, like Swerve Strickland had a response to this later on in the night when he's getting interviewed by Renee Paquette. He mentions what Samoa Joe called him: a parasite, a punching bag, a choke artist. And basically saying that on Sunday, he's going to be the new AEW World Champion. And like Renee Paquette asked him how confident does he think he can be. He's confident in beating Joe. So to close off tonight's Dynamite, like Swerve Strickland went out to the ring and basically he wanted to tell Samoa Joe to his face how confident he was in beating him. Let me see. Looking forward to Joe and Swerve Strickland. Yeah, same here. I honestly think it's going to be a good match. I don't know if Swerve Strickland's going to win. I want him to win, but I feel like it might not be over for them. I kind of feel like maybe Samoa Joe cheats to win here and will retain against Swerve Strickland. I don't know. I just feel like it might be too soon for Joe to lose that title. And during this segment, like the two things that I like was that security came out, and obviously, a brawl was going to break out, so they were trying to prevent that. And Swerve Strickland did the Swerve Stomp on those security guards, which I thought that was really cool. And there was another spot where Samoa Joe mocked Prince Nana, and he ended up doing headbutting Swerve Strickland and then hit the muscle buster, and he stood tall over Swerve Strickland to close off Dynamite. So, like I said, I don't know. It's like I want Swerve Strickland to win, and I think that's going to be a great main event. But I just kind of feel like maybe Samoa Joe's going to cheat his way to victory. I hope not, but we'll see. But what did you guys think of these interviews in this segment? Let me know in the live chat or in the comment section below. Also, who are you guys pulling for here? Samoa Joe or Swerve Strickland? Another thing that I liked about this is that Swerve Strickland said to Samoa Joe, bring his sweet tooth ass out here. Sweet tooth being the character that Samoa Joe portrays in Twisted Metal. So I thought that was a really cool thing. All right. Let me see. I think Joe is going to win. Yeah, it seems like he probably is going to win. Like I said, he'll probably cheat to win. I don't think it's going to be a clean finish if Samoa Joe wins. So tonight's Dynamite kicked off with the new IWGP champion, Jon Moxley. And he's just talking about how, like, he's been chasing that title for 5 years and that he was told holding that title on Dynamite was impossible. And he gave the first half of his speech was, like, very passionate, and I really enjoyed it. But then the second half dealt with the Don Callis family. And, they try to injure Bryan on behalf of Will Ospreay, because it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay on Dynasty. And the whole point of this is that Jon Moxley basically laid out a challenge to Powerhouse Hobbs for the main event next week on Dynamite in Jacksonville. So I think that's going to be a really great match. What do you guys think of that? Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jon Moxley. Like, I think it's going to be good. I cannot wait for that match. I'm really sad I'm not going to be able to watch Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. Had I known earlier, I probably would have maybe I would have reshifted my plans, but unfortunately that's not the case here. So we get a Mercedes Moné promo, and she brings up how last week she was attacked in the dark. If you guys remember when she was getting interviewed, the lights went off and she was attacked. We don't know who attacked her. Now she thinks that it says that maybe it was Julia Hart. Maybe it was someone who wanted to think it was Julia Hart, and she thinks that maybe it could also be Willow Nightingale. As she says, maybe it's someone who doesn't want to face her at Double or Nothing when she's healthy. I honestly kind of think maybe it's Chris Statlander. If you guys remember, Ciampa, after he turned on Orange Cassidy, whispered something in Chris Statlander's ear, and it kind of seemed like that was the direction they were going for. I kind of feel like whoever attacked Mercedes is probably the obvious choice. You know, it's kind of like when they revealed the devil, the obvious choice was Adam Cole, baby. So maybe it's the obvious choice. I don't think it's Willow, and I don't think it's Julia. I think it's Chris Statlander. But again, maybe it is Willow. Who knows? So this leads into the mixed tag match with Adam Copeland, Willow Nightingale versus the House of Black in the form of Julia Hart and Brody King. Now, before the match even starts, Willow Nightingale is attacked backstage, and when the lights go out, like, Brody King attacks Adam Copeland. Like, this whole match really wasn't a mixed tag match. It was mostly Adam Copeland versus Brody King because Willow Nightingale was still backstage. When she did come out, I did like the fact that she tagged Adam Copeland's foot, and then she cross-bodied Brody King. That was really cool. And then she did a cannonball to Brody King. How epic was that? A little taste of intergender wrestling in AEW. It's not the first time they do it in AEW, but it's not a constant thing. Like, it over in TNA wrestling, intergender wrestling, it has happened before, which I think is pretty cool. But all it takes is one shot from Julia Hart with the chain to knock out Willow, and then her and Brody King win this after she locks in the Heartless. Mercedes comes out with the chair, and Julia Hart quickly exits the ring, and then she drops that chair, and Copeland shakes Mercedes' hand. So she didn't attack Willow there. So I'm not sure what that little segment at the end was about. But it was kind of odd to me. Like, you're not gonna attack Willow, and you just drop the chair. Okay. So it seems like Mercedes is probably not going to wrestle. I think Willow was attacked by Julia. She probably was. I don't think Mercedes is going to wrestle until Double or Nothing. So we'll see what she does the rest of the month and the rest of May. With a 6-man tag match is the Elite versus Daniel Garcia, Penta, Miedo, and Pac. I think it was a fun match. I enjoyed this match. Some of the spots that I like was a Matthew Jackson. Like, he had a microphone. I'm just botching all over tonight. He had a microphone, and he was like commenting during this. This kind of reminds me of when Booker T, during his TNA run, when he was doing commentary while in the match. And I thought it was so hilarious how he tells Daniel Garcia to show him something, and he picks him up and was like, "Put me down." He puts him down. What if the attacks are Jamie Hayter or Dr. Britt Baker, DMD? You know what? I didn't even think about that. It could be, especially since Mercedes says she's the CEO of the women's division. Britt Baker says she was the face of the division. So that would make a lot of sense. A night of botches. Yeah, I'm just botching tonight. So I thought that spot was so hilarious. But I really like that spot where Okada and Pac just have that stare down and they have back and forth elbow strikes. You need Snickers? I do need a Snickers. You're not yourself when But the poor Daniel Garcia gets hit with the double super kicks and a Rainmaker, and the Elite win this. And at the end, Daniel Garcia gets hit with the EVP trigger, and then he was about to get sandwiched in between a ladder before Pac saved him from that. And he attempted to use that hammer on the Elite. I honestly don't think Pac is beating Okada. I think it's going to be a really great match. I'm kind of bummed I'm not going to see Dynasty this weekend. So we get a Lionheart, Chris Jericho, and Hook in ring segment. It doesn't make no sense to add Pac and Okada since we're getting the match on Sunday. I think it's just a preview. And Okada didn't pin Pac here, so I think it's okay. So with this whole segment with Chris Jericho, some of the things that he mentions is he talks about this Jericho vortex. He mentions how MJF, Jon Moxley, Will Ospreay, Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and Daniel Garcia have all entered that Chris Jericho vortex and come out better on the other side. He talks about a learning tree. Same for the Bucks and FTR on Collision on Saturday. Well, I'm not watching Collision. And it seems like Chris Jericho is getting upset that Hook does not want his help here. And Taz is in that ring. And Chris Jericho even shoves Taz because he interrupts him. And so basically we're going to get Hook versus Chris Jericho for that FTW title on Dynasty. Because Hook told Jericho that he's just going to show him just how good he is. I kind of feel maybe Chris Jericho is going to beat Hook here for that FTW title. What do you guys think? Is Jericho going to beat Hook? Should Chris Jericho beat Hook, or should Hook beat Chris Jericho? Just by the way this storyline is going, it kind of seems like Chris Jericho... I mean, personally, I think Hook should beat Jericho, but it kind of seems like Jericho might cheat to take that FTW title off of Hook. Heard Cook's contract is almost up and he might be going to WWE. I did hear about that his contract's almost up, so that could also play a factor into this. Maybe they're gonna have him take the title off. We get Deonna Purrazzo versus Mariah May. This was a good match. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Ruchosa Deonna Purrazzo. And she wins this. I mean, of course she is. Come on now. She's a Ruchosa. And she gets attacked at the end of the match by Toni Storm and Mariah May. And Thunder Rosa came to her aid. If you guys remember last week during the champagne celebration, when Thunder Rosa got her mask, her face paint wiped off by Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo tried to help her, but Thunder Rosa didn't need her help. So they shove each other, even though the fact that Thunder Rosa tried to help Deonna heal. Here. I do like the fact that Thunder Rosa, she drew on Toni Storm's face to get her back at that. So I can't wait for that match. I still sense a triple threat soon. I do think I think you're right, Ayo. There might be a triple threat, especially if Thunder Rosa fails to win and Toni Storm wins because of Mariah May. I do think that we might get a triple threat. Maybe at Double or Nothing. I could see it going that far. So you get a Bang Bang Gang interview and the Acclaimed segment to this. So first of all, in this Bang Bang Gang interview, basically they challenged the Acclaimed to a winner-take-all match at Dynasty. And I've been talking about how this should happen. The Acclaimed are the Trios champions, and Bang Bang Gang are the Ring of Honor 6-man titles. It's kind of pointless to have two similar titles, so it's about time they get unified. It's going to be a winners-take-all match. The Acclaimed accept, and they lay a challenge of their own, the Acclaimed versus the Ass Boys on Collision. So what should those titles be called? Winner take all, finally. Yeah, finally. It's about time. Those titles needed to be unified a long time ago. Should they be called the 6 trios titles? 6-man? What would be a good name for those titles? Should it just be 6-man titles, trios 6-man titles, maybe? But it's about time they combine them because it was pointless. You have the trios titles on AEW, the 6-man titles on Ring of Honor, which is the same thing. Combine both of them and have the champions defend both on Ring of Honor and AEW. 6-man trios titles. Oh, I like that. We get Shane Taylor versus Orange Cassidy. And I like the fact that commentary kind of alluded to the fact that Cassidy was out there by himself. Azúcar, Rocky Romero wasn't there. Chuck Taylor's not there. Even Dan Housing wasn't there. So he was out there by himself. And despite the fact that he was out there by himself and it was then the odds were against him, he still managed to win. Undisputed Trios champs? Okay. He still managed to win the match. But then at the end, though, he got attacked by Lee Moriarty and Anthony Ogogo. And, Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels attempted to, help Orange Cassidy, but Trent stopped him with a chair. And then, I don't know if I heard correctly, but I think the crowd was chanting, "Fuck you, Trent." And, then Shane Taylor punched Orange Cassidy, and he got the Motor City stretch by Lee Moriarty. So, poor Orange Cassidy, he's all left alone. So, I think this might lead to Orange Cassidy versus Trent at some point down the road. The main event was Claudio Castagnoli versus Will Ospreay. This was an incredible match. I was really looking forward to this match. This match did not disappoint. I mean, that springboard forearm and then the sharpshooter, that was really cool. Let me see. Ogogo was my favorite member of the Factory, so I'm glad he's back on TV finally. Yeah, I remember he was on the Factory. I like when Will Ospreay did the Spanish fly to Claudio, or when Will Ospreay countered the giant swing. Those were cool spots, and Will Ospreay was victorious here. I should have DVR'd this match. This was incredible. And then, the rest of the Don Callis family come out and attack Claudio, and then Moxley comes out. And it seems like Will Ospreay was pissed at the Don Callis family for doing that because he was screaming at Fletcher, "What are you doing?" So we'll see what happens with that. But I thought this was a pretty decent Dynamite. A much better Dynamite than last week's Dynamite, that's for sure. There wasn't much I disliked about tonight's show. But overall, I think on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, I'd give it an 8. I thought it was a pretty decent show. Wasn't, like I said, it was much better than last week's. Alright, so with that being said, you guys, a couple things. Friday, I won't be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown as I will be traveling to 5-10 mid-show, but better than last week. Definitely better than last week. So I will be traveling for TNA Rebellion. So if you're going to watch Rebellion this weekend, I will be there in attendance. So I'm excited for that. And then also, too, feel free to check out my friends over at the Jeff Meacham Universe, Jeff Meacham Multiverse. They have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And here, I'm going to play the video so you guys can check out what's coming up for them.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Here we go again!
But that's just some of the stuff that they're going to be doing for the watch along. So make sure you check that stuff out. Also, tomorrow I will be reviewing the Go Home Show 2 Rebellion over on Body Slam. So if you like TNA or you watch TNA, make sure you check out my review over on Body Slam. And immediately after that, I believe on Noah Foster's YouTube channel, we will be doing Simply Predicting for Rebellion, so make sure you tune into that too. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching, for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Body Slam. If not, I'll see you guys here Monday after Raw. Bye.